US and Iran, our top focus at this hour. Amid growing hostility with Iran, a newly surfaced report suggests that US has quietly relocated several hundred service members from major installations in Qatar and Bahrain. Mind you, Qatar, the Al Udeid base where US troops are stationed, it was targeted towards the end of the 12-day war last year in June by Iran. Now, the US adjustments currently are being characterized as a larger defensive step meant to limit potential vulnerabilities if there are hostilities with Iran, as are being suspected. Now, according to the report by the New York Times, the repositioning affects personnel previously assigned to Al Udeid Air Base, as I mentioned, which is located in Qatar, as well as sites associated with the US Navy's 5th Fleet headquarters in Bahrain. The publication, citing US officials, said that the changes are aimed at lowering the risk to American forces in case hostilities flare up or retaliatory attacks occur in the region. Al Udeid Air Base, which serves as the largest American military facility in West Asia, supports roughly 10,000 troops, American troops that is. It is a critical hub for US air operations, while the recent drawdown has made quite the news. The report read that the development leans more towards a potential precautionary contingency planning rather than preparation for an immediate clash. Now, in June 2025, Tehran launched missiles at a US base in Qatar after Washington targeted 3 Iranian nuclear sites, although they were shot down by air defenses. Now, ground forces are not expected to take part in the offensive action against Iran. Reports clarified that tens of thousands of American troops continue to operate from numerous other bases throughout West Asia, including locations in Iraq, Syria, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, and UAE. In the meantime, aircraft carrier Gerald R. Ford and an escorting destroyer, they were sighted off Gibraltar, just beneath Spain. Now, the carrier was seen transiting the strait linking the Atlantic Ocean to the Mediterranean in a photo taken from the Gibraltar side of the strait. The carrier's presence in the region was also confirmed by satellite imagery and social media accounts. The sighting coincided with US President Donald Trump suggesting that he is considering a limited military strike against Iran. Now, let's look at the Iranian side. On the other hand, the Iranian Foreign Ministry, in a retaliation to the European Union, has designated the navies and air forces of all European member states, EU member states, as terrorist organizations. The ministry blasted EU nations and said that EU's actions to designate the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC, was contrary to fundamental principles and rules of the United Nations Charter and international law. Along with this, attacks carried out by Israel on Friday in eastern Lebanon killed 8 members of Iran-backed Hezbollah. Lebanon's health ministry said that a total of 10 people were killed in strikes that hit the eastern Bekaa region. The Israeli military said that it had targeted several terrorists of Hezbollah's missile array in 3 different command centers in the Baalbek area, quote unquote. This was a statement which came from Israel. Following the Israeli strike, Hezbollah official Mahmoud Kamati said that the group's only choice was resistance. All right, to discuss this further, I'm now being joined by Hussein Ibrahimi, PhD candidate at the University of Tehran. Mr. Ibrahimi, thank you so much for making time for us. Let me start right away, sir. Now, just look at the military deployments around your country. The US aircraft carrier Gerald R. Ford sighted off Gibraltar, coming in from Spain's side, moving in from this side of Iran, from the western side, while USS Abraham Lincoln is already present within striking range of Iran, along with a fleet of stealth fighter jets and refueling tankers. And then there are personnel being relocated from potential US bases that could be targeted, given what happened towards the end of the 12-day war last year. How does your country see these developments around?
All right. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for having me here. It's my pleasure. So the main question here is that will it be a war or no? So the answer to this question is quite complex. We know that there's a high probability of a strike, and there's a huge amount of military facilities around here in the West Asia, but there is also by the Iranian officials, which they're stating that there is also a chance for diplomacy. And you may know that within a few days, Mr. Sayed Abbas Araghchi, the Iranian foreign minister, has said that Tehran's draft of a potential deal will be ready in a few days. And after that, also in February 19, Donald Trump mentioned that the deadline to Iran case is 10 to 15 days. So we should wait for the at first for the draft written by the Iranian officials, and then we will see that what will be the answer of Donald Trump or the United States government toward the draft. So the Iranian officials seem to have this mindset of chance of diplomacy. But one important point not to be forgotten is that diplomacy in this situation is with much more mistrust, because what we have seen in the June 2025 was that Iran was being targeted, and the Iranian nuclear facilities were targeted by the United States within the time that Iran was in the negotiations. So this issue will cause such cost that Iranian officials know this in mind, and the things that you have clearly mentioned, the Iran's labeling EU naval and air forces, is also can be considered as an escalatory political wave and something against that Iran wants to show against the external pressure. So this is what Iran can do. And also mentioned that the U.S. personnel were evacuated from the Al Udeid base in Qatar.
Mr. Ibrahimi, pardon me, I'll just like to come in. I think there is a little fault in the internet connectivity. We're finding it a little difficult to catch your audio clearly. If you can rectify it, we can consider, continuing with the conversation. As of now, I'd like to quickly cut into a breaking news that is coming in.